Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming to another video. All right, I want to kind of dig into just the Lakers coaching options right now because I'm listening to people talk about Quin Snyder, and I'm looking at what's going on there with the Utah Jazz, and I don't think that we should go in that direction. I know he said that, if I'm not mistaken, it was him who said he took his name off of the runnings for the candidacy, which would make this conversation somewhat irrelevant. But I think sometimes when people say they're not in the running for something, what they're really saying is up the price or make it more enticing for me to do so, to go there. Maybe add some things to what the process would be in our negotiations. A lot of times I've seen guys say, "Yeah, no, I'm not going there," and then go there. When negotiations begin, they get an offer they can't refuse. So what I'm saying is to nip all that in the bud. As a fan, what I'm seeing in Utah makes me say I'm good. We can do something different there, and be happy. Here's what it boils down to, and it's not really deep for me. What's up with Nikhil Alexander Walker? Why isn't he playing for the Utah Jazz? If he's healthy, I've seen with my own eyes what he can bring to the table. I don't need anybody to tell me, or I don't need someone to explain to me where he is as a player necessarily. If he's a project, if there's been some setbacks with his health, if he's got something going on that we don't know about, all of that I can take into consideration. With that being said, the franchise traded for this kid. He has done good things in the past, particularly with New Orleans. In his rookie season and in his sophomore season, we saw some really, really good games where he was able to fill up the box score in both defensive and offensive categories with good efficiency at that. And I'm seeing him not get any playing time for a Utah Jazz team that's struggling against a team without their best player. You know, letting players like Rick Brunson, who are up and coming but not quite at the level they should be to where they're getting the type of numbers they're getting against the Utah Jazz. I see, a lack of athleticism and as I like to call it, wiggliness in their front court. With their forwards and their forwards. Perimeter defense is poor, very poor. And then I look up in their DNP and players that should possibly be first man off the bench in other situations, or maybe even starters in some situations. It's very obvious to me that something is wrong in Utah. I don't know if it's Quin Snyder's decisions that are ultimately causing what it is that we're seeing, or if it's maybe some stuff going on above him that's trickling down to him. Who knows? Being that I'm a Laker fan, I don't rule nothing out. But what I'm saying is, when we're looking for coaches that are going to help us, the Lakers have had a long history of hiring the wrong guy and paying them the wrong thing, and then ending up having to pay that person after they fire him. This is repeated, and we need to put an end to it. And when you look over and you start thinking about what type of coaches you want to hire, you need the next one to be the right one. You need to make the right decision. And what you cannot do is start picking coaches off of out of situations that are currently going on that may not be very good. You look at the guy who's on the verge of being fired and you say, that's the guy I want. Now, sometimes that works out, but there's usually a good reason why they fired that guy. And chances are, whatever the problems was, you're going to inherit those. Now, I know Quin Snyder's been here. Again, he said he doesn't want to be the Laker coach, so voila, we're pretty much good there. But what I'm saying is, in terms of the direction of what coaches we're looking for, can we look in directions where success was found? Can we look in directions where there's no struggle right now? Can we find a coach that doesn't provide the same problems that the coach we just fired gave us? Because what I see with Utah is roster and rotation issues, and that's exactly what we have. It's a roster and, of course, our rotation issues. So I would like to see the Lakers land a coach that can maybe be better at those specific things, and at the very least, not worse. And while I look at the Utah situation and I see an awkward fit, and we discussed that last night, in one of the videos that I made, but at the same time, it's not about what you have. It's more so what you do with it. And the Lakers going to have a limited bunch next year. We know that. So what we're going to need to do is bring in a coach who can get the most out of them. And what we don't need is coaches who don't make adjustments, coaches who don't excel in changes being made around them, because that's exactly what they're in for if they're going to sign up to be a coach of the Lakers. There's going to be a lot of change over the next several years. It's going to be a lot of turnover in terms of the players that are going to be on this team, in my opinion. And there needs to be a coach that can provide a culture, set a foundation of a culture on the court that can kind of mirror the off-the-court culture that the Lakers have already, the dominance that we believe ourselves to be about. That is what the next coach needs to be able to do. He needs to be able to withstand the changes that the Lakers are going to be going through, and still be efficient at whatever it is that he's has to do with what he's given. So that's what I'm saying, man. I don't think Quin Snyder necessarily is showing us what we need to see in these playoffs right now. That gives us the confidence that he's the guy we should be looking toward, or that those who are looking at him have the right idea. So I want Jeannie to, of course, clean house. I think most of Laker Nation is echoing that. We want her to fix the front office before making long-term hires, because what you end up doing is, once the new regime comes in, they're going to want to undo all of the stuff that's being done right now, and that's going to cause you a lot of headaches in the future. And what you don't want to be is in a situation where you figured everything out, then come to terms that you need to change your front office, and then, of course, undo things that probably shouldn't be undone at that time. So you make the right decisions in terms of changing self and infrastructure first, and then you can be sure that you're making the right decisions for the team. And for the time being, you can't worry about the time being, more or less. You just got to fix the infrastructure. That's just what it comes down to. And trust that there will always be a new crop of players that will be ready to carry the league. And if you trust your scouts and you know what you're doing, you're going to attract them. You're going to be able to acquire them. So don't be afraid to acquire picks. That's what I'm always preaching every day. So that's what it is, man. Hopefully we can have a good offseason, hire the right guy, make the changes necessary to give us the foundation that we're talking about here. And, we'll see. We'll see, man. For the time being, everybody enjoy the playoffs. I'll be talking about those as well. Got some good games coming up tonight. I've been very much looking forward to this Minnesota versus Memphis matchup particularly. So we'll be talking about that and a few other things as well. So, BDF 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.